Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here. Today, we're mapping out the reality behind sound therapy and all those specific frequency claims you've probably seen floating around. We're going to take a really fascinating journey into the world of audio, biology, and the human brain, just to separate fact from fiction. By the end of this, you'll have a crystal clear understanding of how sound actually impacts your body and your mind.
I mean, if you've spent any time online searching for, say, relaxation, sleep aids, or stress relief, you've undoubtedly come across frequency audio, right? These tracks are literally everywhere. But looking at the sheer volume of them, we really have to ask the big question. Do specific frequencies actually heal the body? We see these massive view counts and super enthusiastic comments, so it's totally understandable to wonder what's actually scientifically real here and what might just be clever marketing.
Let's look at what we're typically dealing with. You might see a thumbnail advertising a 528 Hz track that claims to literally repair your DNA. Or, maybe a 432 Hz track labeled as a miracle tone, designed to align you with the universe. And then there are the 174 Hz tracks explicitly marketed as pain relief music. These are highly specific, almost medical claims that we see every single day on our platforms. They aren't just saying, hey, this sounds nice. They are claiming profound biological changes. So, to make sense of all this, here is our game plan for today. We'll quickly move through the healing frequency boom, look at sound's real physical effects, decode those big three numbers, 174, 432, and 528, explore the true mechanisms of healing, and wrap up with our ScienceCom ranking. Let's jump right in.
All right, Section 1, the healing frequency boom. Let's sort fact from fiction.
Like I said, these healing frequency videos are everywhere. And what's super fascinating is the incredible spectrum of promises being made. Sometimes the claims are really gentle, right? Just offering a sense of harmony or maybe a better night's sleep. But other times, they sound almost medical, promising to cure physical pain or actively repair your cellular DNA. Because of this massive range, we absolutely need to establish some clear evidence boundaries so we can understand what audio can and cannot do for our health.
Moving on to Section 2, sound's real physical effects. This is our foundation.
Okay, let's get one thing straight right out of the gate. Sound is real, and sound completely affects the body. We are not here to debunk the idea that audio influences how you feel. Quite the opposite, actually. The question isn't whether sound matters, we know for sure it does. The true scientific question is how it actually works on our physiology, rather than just assuming it works by some kind of magic.
Let's walk through this step by step, because it's pretty wild how powerfully your physical body responds to auditory input. First off, sudden loud noises startle you. That's just your nervous system reacting instantly to protect you. Second, a calm, gentle voice can visibly soften your physical tension. Third, music undeniably changes your mood. And fourth, rhythm can actually influence your physical movement and even the pace of your breathing. So your body is deeply, fundamentally wired to respond to sound.
Take ASMR, for example. Research, like the 2018 study by Poerio and colleagues, shows that ASMR-sensitive viewers experience highly measurable physiological changes. We're talking about actual drops in heart rate and significant mood shifts. It creates a real physical tingling sensation. So, to put that into perspective, the right sounds absolutely create genuine physical calm. That brings us to Section 3, decoding 174, 432, and 528. The big three. When we step back and separate what you're being sold from what the data actually says, a pretty clear picture emerges. On one hand, you have these marketed claims: universal harmony, DNA repair, reliable pain relief. But on the other hand, you have the scientific reality. Things like tuning preference, unproven medical science, and just general soothing vibrations. The hard evidence for exact frequencies acting as exact miracle cures is just, it's much weaker than the marketing suggests. Let's do a deep dive into 432 Hz first. The online claim here is that it provides universal biological alignment. But the science foundation, it's way simpler. 432 Hz is really just a tuning reference. Some people simply prefer music tuned slightly lower than the modern 440 Hz standard, because, to them, it sounds warmer or softer. And hey, personal preference can absolutely increase relaxation. But a preference for a softer tone is definitely not the same thing as universal biological alignment. Next up is 528 Hz, which you'll often see dubbed the love frequency. The online claim is massive here, that listening to it actively repairs your DNA. However, looking neutrally at the science foundation, we see a very different story.
While a 528 Hz tone might sound really pleasant inside certain musical compositions, claims that simply listening to a frequency repairs human DNA are just not established by high-quality clinical evidence. It's a lovely sound, sure, but it is not a medical procedure.
Finally, let's look at 174 Hz. This one is heavily marketed for pain relief. The online claim is that this exact frequency reliably removes physical pain. The Science Foundation, though, clarifies that low tones and physical vibrations can indeed be super soothing, and broader music therapy is well documented to help people cope with discomfort. But again, a soothing low drone helping you cope is fundamentally different from claiming one specific frequency is a guaranteed cure for pain.
Now for Section 4, the true healing mechanisms. Let's look at why we actually relax.
I really want to validate your experience right here. If a 432 Hz track helps you relax, or a 528 Hz track helps you breathe slower and fall asleep, that experience is completely valid, and honestly, wonderful. The truth is that sound is an incredibly useful tool. It can deeply support your mental and physical state without needing any miracle claims attached to the whole shebang.
There are true, fascinating mechanisms at play in sound therapy. As you can see, the real pathways are attention, expectation, emotional association, rhythm, and masking. When you listen to these tracks, it's really your nervous system finding safety. Your brain latches onto a steady rhythm. Your emotional associations with the sound trigger relaxation. And honestly, your expectation that the track will calm you down actually helps drive that very calm. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy in the best way possible.
Let's break down exactly how these soothing tracks work in practice. First, they mask or block out distracting, stressful environmental noises. Second, they give your busy mind a stable, continuous object to focus on. Third, the slow tempo naturally encourages you to slow your own breathing. Fourth, just putting the track on becomes a comforting bedtime ritual. And lastly, it feels safe because you expect it to feel safe. Much like ASMR, the whole scene matters. The voice, the pacing, the predictability, your unique sensory profile, not just a single exact frequency number.
All right, let's wrap this up with Section 5, the Science Calm Ranking. Consider this your honest map.
Looking at our final Science Calm ranking, under Real, we have the proven fact that sound absolutely affects mood, arousal, attention, and relaxation. Under Plausible, it makes total sense that some specific tones, music, and vibrations might feel much better to certain people depending on their personal preference and the context. But under Not Proven, we have to place the claims that 144, 432, or 528 Hz universally heal organs, repair DNA, or cure disease. This audio should never, ever be used as a substitute for actual medical care.
So, how do we use these tracks best? Well, here are your safe usage guidelines. Keep the volume comfortable. It definitely shouldn't be blasting. Choose tones that you genuinely, personally enjoy listening to. Honestly, if a supposed healing tone annoys you, it's not working. Avoid any sounds that trigger headaches or tension for you. And most importantly, treat frequency audio purely as a beautiful, supportive tool for your relaxation, not as a medical treatment.
I want to leave you with this thought as the ultimate takeaway of our explainer today. The body deserves truth and softness together. We really don't have to choose between scientific reality and enjoying a wonderfully soothing audio track. You can have the honesty of evidence-based science and still embrace the comforting softness of a beautifully crafted soundscape.
So I'd love to hear about your own experiences. Take a moment to reflect. Which specific tracks or sounds actually help you relax the best? And on the flip side, which online claims have you seen that just feel a little too exaggerated? Keep using sound beautifully and carefully to support your well-being. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today, and keep exploring the incredible world of sound.